Back to the Andy Mechanic workshop. It's been an extremely busy week. So busy that I've had to make a list of all the things that I need to include in the live stream. Lots to talk about. And of course, your comments and contributions to the live stream too are invaluable and really build a content to what this is all about. Now, just want to check on the audio. I've got the fan going on in the background here just to keep cool because it's really muggy at the moment and it's raining outside. So if you can hear that on the video, on the audio, please let me know and I'll turn it off. There we go. YouTube's up and running. Boom, 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 boom. Don't need adverts. Go away, adverts. Who wants adverts, really? So, who have we got in the workshop? George Bonnie 90. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, George. Welcome back, matey. Right, advert on mute stuff. Excellent. There we go. Oh, come on, chat. Oh, I've got no chat on my live stream again. What's going on, YouTube? Come on. Show chat. I know there's chat. Why is there no chat? What's going on? I need to see what's going on. Right, let me just load it again and see if that's going to work. Jeez, this happened last weekend as well. There we go. Second time lucky. Right, George Bonnie 90. Hello, everybody. Big thumbs up. Good morning, George. And Arrownet. That's a new name. Morning, Andy. Good morning, Arrownet. Jim K. Smash the like button. Why not? Thanks, Jim. S&A Auto Repair. Corey's in the shop. Is it Sunday again already? Still Saturday here. We're always in the future here. Always. It's brilliant. Mike Bazanski. Good morning, Andy and crew. Cold cider at the ready. I wish. I've got cold, but it's cold coffee. I came out quite early this morning. So, it's been a very, very busy week. It seems that every single week at the moment is extremely busy. Lots going on. We had some delays, paint problems, as you know, with the footwell kits, paint adhesion. So when it came around to doing the final large plate of the kits, I thought, no, enough's enough. We've got to get this right. So we got the shop blasting cabinet, and Mrs. Mechanic, testament to Mrs. Mechanic, spent 2 days. It's pretty much 2 days stood in front of that cabinet, shop blasting, or garnet blasting, should I say, sand blasting, and did a wonderful job. It was a lot slower. It was a lot slower than the machine that I use outside, which is gravity-fed canister for shop blasting, sand blasting. Sorry, I always call it the wrong name. And obviously, it turns out that when you've got a cabinet, which is basically the hoppers at the base, and a vacuum that's created in the gun draws the garnet up a pipe back into the gun, and then it blasts it at your workpiece. To achieve that, you need a much, much higher air volume, CFM, than you would with the exterior hopper, or tank, should I say, which the garnet is pushed out of the tank by the air pressure, so it doesn't use vacuum, and that worked pretty well, apart from the fact that garnet goes absolutely everywhere, including into every single orifice on your body, into your eyes, even though you're wearing masks and all sorts of stuff and breathing masks and things. It's just a hideous thing to do. So I vowed never to do it again on a fabrication job like this. Sure, on an old trailer that you've got to, sandblast the chassis, you've got no alternative. But with these workpieces, we could do them in a cabinet, so I had to bite the bullet and buy the cabinet. But it very quickly came to light that we needed a larger air compressor. We were running 3 air compressors on that cabinet. I don't really know what the total CFM was. I reckon it was about 20, but the cabinet needs a minimum of 31. So we were way off the mark, but it did still work most of the time. So I've been looking at air compressors, and the only way of getting a big enough air compressor, with the CFM rating, and it's all to do with free airflow. So it's not the maximum rating of the air compressor. It works out to be about 75% of that. So you've got to go even bigger, basically, to get that free airflow. And we can't go single phase because you can't get one big enough single phase. We don't have three phase. That's not an option. Diesel one's way too noisy. So it was going to end up being a petrol powered air compressor. And that's not too bad because we're only going to fire it up whenever we need to use a shot blasting cabinet. So it's sporadic use. So the additional cost in fuel versus electric, it's almost irrelevant, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm busy saving up for that. It's not here, couldn't afford it, has to wait till at least after the bike trip. Yes. Oh, and I've got to get final sign off from Mrs. Mechanic because it's quite an expensive purchase, and I did buy Trevor the tractor not too long ago. Yeah. The fan's on. Bugger. There we go. That's better. Right, back to the comments. Bum 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 bum. Sheldon is in the workshop, and Sheldon on the live stream, because Sheldon the mill is just over there. As you've all seen before, for newcomers, there's Sheldon the mill, named after Sheldon who's on the live stream. Came from his workshop. Thanks, Sheldon. And it's going to get some more use soon, I think. Highly likely we're going to have to do another repeat batch of those footwell braces. They've all been allocated. They're all out there. They're getting shipped on Monday. So Sheldon says, howdy Andy and crew. Good morning, Sheldon. We have a pie. Don't panic. The pie is here. We're going to pop it in the pie warmer soon. Embray Smith. Tool girls, please. Well, Embray, very good segue. Thank you very much for that. Tool girl Holly is back in the workshop next weekend. Hoorah! Can't wait. The getting out of Auckland is going to become possible for her on the 15th, which I think is the Wednesday of next week. So we're all scheduled to do a weekend's work, the last weekend, hopefully, of work on the DR200 farm bike, the Trojan it's called, and she'll also be on the live stream if I can get her out of bed. Hopefully. That's the plan. I'm sure she will be because she does enjoy the live streams, and I'm sure you're going to have lots and lots of questions for her. It's been a very long time since she's been down. It's been over a year, I think, since she was last in the workshop, and it'd be great to be working with her again. We've got lots to get done, lots of final touches to do on that bike, mud guards to fit, seat to fit, there's chain guard to go on, there's the front cover to go on the front sprocket, there's mirrors, there's heaps of bits and pieces, just little loose ends to finish off. It needs a full service, needs a new air filter, so we've got all that to do as well, and I hope it still starts. Actually, I mean, this project's been going on for a very long time, and maybe the carb needs a good clean out too. We'll have to see how we get on. And then, after all that's done, I've then got to fit the Touratech top box on it and sort out all the communication stuff, the Senna gear in the helmet. In fact, the helmet that's arriving will have Senna gear already in it. It's a pre-produced helmet that I've gone for. But I've got to do all the wiring on the bike to convert the Senna stuff to the SR. Well, the SR10 will receive the stuff from the helmet and then wire that into the, here you go, the two-way radio, which we've been playing with. I wonder if Mrs. Mechanic's there. This is Workshop to Canteen. Do you copy? Maybe. Just maybe. It's obviously not in the kitchen at the moment. Now, yes, so once all that's in, and there'll be an exterior aerial to go on and stuff, then I've got a bit of testing to do. I've got to take the bike to get a warrant of fitness. I've got to put rego on it. Oh, we've got a number plate already to fit to it. That's in the drawer. So heaps to do. Haven't had time to pick up the rebuilt front wheel. It's going to have to go with the front wheel that's in it. So lots to get done on that one. And well, yes, looking forward to it coming down. Should be great. just going rewinding a little bit. Sorry, comments. You'll have to hang on a second. So all the footwell kits are done. They're going to get dispatched on Monday. The ROV was all done and got that delivered, and picked up Trevor on the way home. Trevor the tractor is back, and we've got the auger for the backhoe now, and a big 40 centimeter drill bit to go on there. So that's all pretty good, and we've got the pallet forks as well for the front, and a quick hitch, so I can swap the front bucket, the 4-in-1 bucket, for the pallet forks really quickly. So very happy with that. I even had a bit of a tidy up using the pallet forks yesterday. We've got a lot of stack of old pallets lying around that Ben keeps bringing down. Firewood or something, I don't know. But anyway, they're all stacked up down the garden now, and it's all looking a little bit tidier. And I even got a chance to move Mrs. Mechanic's washing line, because the washing line was on the outside of this workshop, on this wall here. And of course, that's where we've stacked all that 6 meter lengths of timber. So the washing line was a bit compromised. You couldn't really get a lot on there. So we've clagged some bits of timber on the posts for the deck that was set over a year ago, and it's on there as a temporary position just to get the exterior drying stuff, the washing line working again properly for us. So did that, and spent the rest of yesterday contemplating on doing the video for finishing the Myford lathe strip, and didn't. Instead, shaved the dog. Yes, shop dog is now bald. Lowest possible setting, 0.8 of a millimeter. She is absolutely hairless, but a lot cooler. And she's not very happy with me at all at the moment. She looks at me and then just wanders off. So she doesn't like what the new look that she has. Poor old Marmite. So that was sort of my week, getting everything finished. Lots of admin work to do during the day. Lots of work happening in the workshop during the evenings. And Mrs. Mechanic was in the workshop during the day, and she spent a whole day just packing those kits up. 50 kits took a lot of putting together, with all the fasteners and everything as well. She'd already pre-packed the fasteners. I hope they're right. I'm sure there will be. She did double check, but they say they're all going to go out. So we've sort of caught up. We're at a point now where, I can get the Myford lathe one finished. And I have to have, this is the absolute bottom line now, Alan's bike is going back to Auckland on Thursday, the CB750. It's going back. So I've only got the rest of today, Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night to finish the videos on that bike and finish the work on that bike. And the main thing is to fit those new intake pipes between the carbs and the air filter box, with the new clamps. Hopefully the carbs don't need another clean out, because it has been stood for a while. Hopefully it runs okay. If it does, then we'll be able to do a carb balance on it. If not, I've got to pull the carbs out again and clean them all off camera, obviously. And then I can get all the little bits and pieces that we bought for the bike on, and just the final touches, and I'll get as much done as I possibly can. But it has to go back to Auckland on the Thursday. Yes, Alan he's got a friend coming around, wants to show them the bike, and if the bike still needs a few little bits and pieces doing, well, Alan's going to have to get his toolkit out. You are, man. Yes. And that clears the decks, ready for attacking Holly's DR200 on the Saturday morning. Oh, and on top of all of that, I've got to find all the parts for the DR200 and prepare the videos, plan what we're going to do, and bunch certain bits and pieces together to try and make some kind of sense of it. So, tons of work to do. Yes. The bike trip itself might be delayed by a week. The plan was to leave on the 28th of December, just before New Year's. However, it seems that there's an unauthorised roadblock, border crossing, another unauthorised border crossing, planned by locals up north, which would prevent us from getting to Kaitaia and obviously Cape Reinga, where the trip's going to start from. So we need clarification on whether that's going to be there permanently, or whether they're just running it for the holiday season. I just don't know. But potentially that's going to cause some problems, although there are lots of back roads that we might be able to navigate our way around. We'll have to see. So, work in progress. Up in the air. Just don't know. Right, where are we? Mike Adams! How Butcher Andy? How Butcher Andy? Got a copy on me over there, lol. What? CB radios. Channel 1, if you're interested. Classic. Connor K, morning Andy and crew. Hope you are chipping away at all the jobs you showed us last week. Yes, getting there, Connor, requiring lots of effort, and there have been a couple of days where I've just been completely burnt out, to be honest. But I'm okay now. I had a bit of a rest yesterday, just tied it up. All that shot blasting, despite the cabinet having, sorry, sandblasting, despite the cabinet having the vacuum on it, to the extractor, still, whether it's from when I was sandblasting outside, okay, I'm going to call it shot blasting. Shot blasting outside, even with the doors shut, a lot of dust came into the workshop, so I've been sort of trying to tidy up and get the place semi-presentable for Tool Girl Holly when she gets here. And really, you've got to keep a tidy workshop. I even cleaned my main roll cab look. There's no more paint splatters down the front and big greasy fingerprints and things. So it's looking a bit artificial at the moment, but the workshop was in a terrible state after all the work I've been doing the last few months. JJ, morning Andy and crew. Good morning, JJ. Bruce Cleaver, morning Andy. Good morning, Bruce. Welcome back, matey. Mike Adams, I've seen the title. You have a CB. I'm a trucker, so I can't resist using some of the lingo. Roger D, copy that. I used to use radios an awful lot, and it's like learning all over again. I'm not going to use the 10-4 and all the number system. It's just a workshop to base to copy, or I don't know, farm bike to you copy. I don't know. We'll come up with some kind of lingo for the video, I'm sure. But it's good fun. It really is. And when I'm on the bike, I won't be holding this. This is actually be in the top box, and all the mic and the headphones and stuff are on the helmet. So hopefully it's all going to work. It's cost a ton of money to get it all set up, but it should really add to that mini series of videos. And I reckon the whole trip is going to be probably, I'm going to try and keep it really short, interesting snippets from all the footage. It's going to take a while to sift through, and I probably won't film the entire trip because the amount of gigs of stories that you need for that is just ridiculous, and it would take a very long time to sift through. So we've got a camera on the helmet, we've got the dash cam in the ute, and then there'll be pieces to camera on the phone. We've also got a GoPro that hopefully will be mounted at various points on the bike to get some action shots. So, don't know. It's going to be a ton of footage, and those videos should come out early part of next year. Probably one a month, maybe. I don't know. See how it pans out. It's just do the trip, Andy. See what happens. Now, planning the trip actually plotting the trip on the Garmin Overlander. Learned a bit about that as well this week. To actually plot waypoints, you go onto the Garmin Explore website. They call it an app, but it's on a laptop, so you don't really use apps on laptops. But anyway, you go onto that, and then you can zoom in on your topographical map. And if you zoom in further, then you get the actual overhead photos, like on Google Earth. So you can actually see the track that you're riding as well, which is really cool, because I have noticed, or I started to notice, that even though it's marked on the map as a track or a road, so to speak, and it's got a road name, when you zoom in on the photo, there's nothing there. It's completely disappeared. So I've tried to avoid those, because chances are there's no vehicular rights on them. The farmers just ploughed them over, and a bit of a bone of contention here in New Zealand. There's what's called paper roads. We would call the similar equivalent in the UK would be a green lane. A lot of the paper roads here in New Zealand have lost their vehicular rights, whereas the green lanes in the UK, up until about the last decade, still had the majority had their vehicular rights. So you could drive them even though it was just grass, But there's a very high possibility that some of the sections of the route that I've chosen to do, and we're zigzagging all over the North Island, and I'm about a day's ride away from Wellington at the moment, there's a high probability that some of the tracks or roads that I've chosen to ride, A, it's not suitable for the ute to go down, and B, probably not even allowed to be there. So we may have to split up and the ute go on the main road and me go down the track, or abort mission if it gets a little bit lively with landowners, and go round an alternative route. So nothing's fixed. We just don't know. It's an adventure. It's a challenge. And as with all challenges, we're going to have problems. I can guarantee it. So that I'm going to take you guys on a journey, and if we get arrested, don't we? I hope not. Mike Adams. Oh, done that one. Simon. Good job you're here, Simon. Good morning. Okay, Simon, you probably recognise something in the thumbnail there. Embray. We want Lily, not your ugly mug. Thanks, Embray. I know. Lily's cool. Jim K. No leaks, I hope. Leaks on what? What are we talking about, leaks? I hope not. Leaks are always bad. Richard, I mean on the shop blasting? No, there's no leaks on that. Richard Perry. Morning, Andy and crew from GB. Good morning, Richard. Roger Heaps. I've already been talking to Roger on Messenger this morning. He's obviously got up very early as always. Good morning, Andy and crew. Just been organising Pig Tucker. Yes, got to feed those pigs. Get them fattened up. Simon, is the trip looking for land for the new house? It could be, couldn't it? Good idea. But no, it's not. And I mean, that's right on the back burner at the moment. It's an idea. There's way too much to get on with at the moment, to be honest. Mike Adams, are your radios just programmed to communicate with each other, or do they have crystals to get actual CB channels as well? Can come in handy if you need help, but you have no cell. CB still works. Exactly the reason why we went for CB radio communication between the bike and the ute, because basically we're going into the middle of nowhere as much as possible, what you can find in New Zealand, really remote areas. Cell phone, and you can again, the Senna you can do that. You can use cell phones to speak between the bike and the ute, the support vehicle, but that just would not work. So CB radios, I thought, was by far the best option, and it's not reliant on that, and it also gives us a second or another means of communication should we have a problem. So yes, these are normal CB radios. No idea the frequency. They're not the same frequency stuff as in the UK. I know that. I do have some old UK CB radios here, but only one aerial, unfortunately. But maybe I'll get those working one day. We'll see. But yeah, that was the plan. Use the CB radio. It started off really difficult trying to get it organised, and then as I found out more and more, it turns out eventually that Senna themselves have actually decided it's a good idea to use CB radios on a motorbike. And they've come up with a number of different leads to connect the SR10, that's the receiver from the helmet gear, that then talks to the CB radio. They've come up with a number of different leads to attach to or connect various CB radio handheld units. On this one, it connects just behind here. There's a couple of little ports. You take this plate off and it plugs in there. But unfortunately, they don't make one, which is a bit of a problem, for the GME radios. If I'd known that right at the start, maybe I'd gone for a different brand of handheld radio, CB radio, but hey, in hindsight, this is the route we've taken, and I'm just going to have to make the leads up. It's not a problem. It's only 4 wires. I can cope with that. But yes, Mike, you make a very good point, and I think we've gone down the right route there. Jim Haynes, he's not late. Look at that, I'm here, almost on time. Good job, Jim. Right, okay. What's next on the list? It says, number 4, put in the pie. So, let's go and put in the pie. Right, turning around. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Boom. Right, there's my list, look. Right, pie. Okay, what have we got? Now, this one came from a Z petrol station. Look at this, trying to get it out one-handed. Right. And it's a steak and cheese. So having a quick scan around. It has been in the freezer. I bought it on the 3rd, so it had to be freezerized. But I definitely wanted to do this one. It's quite slim, but it seems quite intact. So let's go and pop that in the pie warmer and see what happens. Yeah, do we put it on the paper? We should put it on the paper, really. We do with the rest of them, don't we? Right, let's just flatten that down. To camera, Andy, to camera. Look, it's even got SC on the front, look, steak and cheese. Nice. Right. God. There are some parts of the workshop that are still really messy. Sorry, Sheldon, you're in the way. God damn. Right, it's going in. Hopefully there's not too much garnet all over it. Okay, there we go. To camera, to camera, to camera. Boom. Right, 20 minutes. It's not a massive pie. There we go. I reckon that'll do. Okay. Hopefully it won't catch fire. We've not caught one fire on fire yet, but there's always a possibility. Right, quick squiz around the way. Oh, look, you see, I've even got all the Myford lathe stuff out ready. This is what should be in the last video. I've got the shaft to get out of that, which is seized in for some reason. I've got the end stock to strip. We've got, is it on this side? No, it's on this side. We've got the drive twizzly bit down the side to take off the blade. That's the last bit on there. And somewhere else. Oh, yes. There we are, look. We've still got the apron to strip down as well. So all those little bits to do on the video. We've got the tools out ready. So there's no excuse, Andy. We need that last video doing today. And hopefully, very hopefully, later on today, because I'm in a mindset of making videos, I need to replace these rubbers, at least. I think I'll replace those rubbers and get the bike running again and see if it runs okay. If it doesn't, then I'm going to spend the rest of the evening cleaning those carbs out again. Bit of a ball ache. But then we can crack on. I want to get the carbs balanced and I can start putting it back together, because the carb balance is the last main job on this bike. Oh, it needs a dust off. Look at all the dust on it. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, sorry, Mrs. Mechanic. Those shiny exhausts are not quite as shiny anymore, are they? This bike has been here for well over a year now. Sorry, Alan. But he needs it back. He needs it back for Christmas. Not that he's going to ride it. He's just going to look at it. But he needs it back. Oh, yes, addition. Right, because Holly's coming back to the workshop. This, oh, look at that. You see? Brilliant, isn't it? She's been asking for a long time for a mirror on the inside of the cabinet. So I got her a truck mirror. Now, it is slightly convex. There we are, look. Slightly convex. So it's a little bit distorted, but it sort of works. So it's one eye kicking around. So I've mounted that, and you can, because it's off a truck, you see, it's on a little ball joint at the back, so you can twizzle it around and move it around and stuff. So I think she'll be very, very happy at that. Good job. Right, let's get that closed up. Coolio. Right. Oh, look at the state of the inside of the cabinet now. Look at that. It's not new anymore, is it? Mrs. Mechanic has been smashing those plates out on there. Unbelievable. Lots and lots of work going on. Oh, and I've still got all these to do. That's not going to happen till the new year now, though. They just have to sit there. Bugger. Yeah, but we're going to shot blast all of those as well. Sorry, sandblast all of those again with the garnet. But they're going to wait until the new air compressor does turn up, because that'll speed the job up immensely. Because it isn't just these. There's a ton of little plates in there. In fact, where are they? Let's have a look over here, look. Yes, we've got, what's it, 15 kits. There'll be 60 of these to clean up. And, hang on, there's still some more stuff somewhere. Some I've used them all. Have I used them all? I might have used them all. I think I've used them all. I have. There's a little spacer plate triangle bit there as well that goes in, but they're hidden. Can't see those. So yeah, she's still got a lot of work to do. Oh, I have. One of us has. But she likes to help out. She does a great job. Right. Back to the bench. Boom. Right. Okay. What are you guys commenting? What's going on? Bruce. Andy, are all of your mug designs available still? I might treat myself for Christmas. To be perfectly honest, I don't know. I sort of gave up with Zazzle. I can maybe check on this laptop, so hang on, just bear with me. I hope so. Let's see if it will still remember my password. Just out of interest, I've never actually been able to download any of the revenue that has been created on Zazzle from the sale of these merch items. It's been, in all honesty, it wasn't a great deal of money. Anyway, I didn't do it for as a financial, you know, project. It was just done to provide you guys with some merch. That was the whole idea behind it. Although some of the revenue has been spent on, oh yeah, it's got it, on purchasing stuff for myself and for Holly and bits and pieces, and like the leggings and things come from there. So it has helped to cut costs a little bit. So just bear with me, see if I can get in my account. I haven't been in for ages. View your products. I think so. I can see the newest pair of leggings that I did. Yeah, I think so. Looking at this, you should still be able to. The stickers. You might as well see. Hang on. Here we go. Turn you around. Good segue. So it's on Zazzle. So you just Google zazzle.co.nz, or yeah, I think NZ will work. And you can see there's all sorts of stuff on there. There's all the mugs and bits and pieces. There's the YouTube mugs. There's the white leggings. You want to get your missus some leggings for Christmas. And there's also, oh, you can't get the, ooh, no, the new ones are not on there. I decided not to sell those. Maybe I'll put them on for you. We'll see. I don't know if you'll be able to order them or not. One of the issues was they didn't like the logos that I'd used on the mugs, especially the YouTube logo. So they sort of said, oh, we're going to stop selling those. But it looks to me like you can still add to your cart. So, I mean, you know, if you are successful in purchasing one, and I've not needed to order any more mugs myself, but I don't, if it's restricted, I can still order, so I don't know. Orders over the last 30 days, 0. Orders of all time, 22. Quantity sold, 30. Okay, 5% royalty. So we don't get very much out of it. Yeah, so anyway, let me know if you do decide to order one. Let me know if you actually do get it. That would be good to find out if it's still operational or not, because as I say, I've not been on there for a very long time. There we go. Cool. Right, sort the phone out again. There we are. Very cool. So yeah, good luck. Maybe. And if you do, so let me know. It'd be good to know if it's still operational or not. There's no reason why they should block the stickers and stuff, because there's no logos on those. It's just pictures of the Tool Girls. But it'd be interesting to find out. And the same with the Tool Girl mugs. Again, there should be no problems at all with those. It's just the it's just this mug actually. This could be no longer available. I don't know. They got very, very upset by the YouTube logo, and I'm like, I'm a bloody creator. I have a YouTube channel. I'm allowed to use YouTube logos. And I went, not really. So we had a fallout. So I stopped using them. Well, I stopped adding to the store. One day I'll get the merch thing sorted out. I keep trying, but it requires a lot of time and effort, and I just don't have the time. Oh. Turn the fan off, Andy. Coolio. Right, where are we up to? Oh my word. Oh, jeez. Scroll back. Yes, might treat myself for Christmas. If you're going to get it in for Christmas, you'll have to get one ASAP, because it'll take a while to ship through. It does depend where you are. I think the mugs come out of the States from memory. So if you're in the States, you tend to get them pretty quick. Mike Adams, if for some reason those radios don't work out, which other brand radios have you considered? I actually haven't looked at this point in time, but I would definitely look at what leads are available from Sena, and there is quite a few different brands of radio that they make leads for to connect the SR10 to, and I would just select one of those. I like Cobra CB radios. I used to have a lot of Cobras, and I had a Cobra rig in the Unimog. We had another one in my Petrol as well, you know. So I do like Cobras. It seems to be. I like to have a nice chunky mic that's heavy and it's got some weight to it. Some of the little CB radio mics now are so light and flimsy, they just don't feel right, to be honest. And the Cobra one had plenty of adjustments, so you could really play around with the squelch and just get it and tone and that kind of thing. You get it set up how you want it. It was nice. Emma Oliver. Vark Tech. Don't know what that means. If anyone can decipher that, that'd be cool. Connor K, a truck mirror is fitting. It's a shop. I thought so too. I thought so. I thought, don't want to get some standard little domestic mirror in there. It's got to be, you know, automotive type themed, hasn't it? Mike Adams, by the way, one day I went to get myself one of those blast boxes too. Maybe even see about a soda blasting conversion to it. To switch it to when needed. Soda blasting. Never done soda blasting. I have no idea what it is. But there's lots of different types of blasting. You can even blast little glass balls. There's lots of different media that you can use depending on the material that you're cleaning up and the finish that you want. It's pretty cool. Simon, shame you can't have the mugs printed in the UK as well. Make it cheaper for UK viewers. That's a good point, actually, Simon. Maybe I should look into that because there is a big chunk of the viewing audience based in the UK. So maybe next year, when I get around to it, I'll look at maybe a supplier in the UK or a platform that I can use for that. And I'll have to try and explore the rights of logos and what I need to provide to them to prove that I'm allowed to use those logos. I mean, every logo on this mug, I have written proof, written authorization from the various manufacturers and from YouTube saying that I'm allowed to use them. But Zazzle wouldn't accept any of that, and that's just really weird. I just don't know what's going on. Pete, hi Andy and crew, running late, Merry Christmas to you all. Hey, no problem, Pete. Welcome aboard, matey. Bruce Cleaver, cool. Will do. Pete, what pie is it today? It's a steak and cheese from the Z petrol stations here in New Zealand. I don't know how many Z petrol stations there are. There's nowhere near as many as there is BP's. But let's have a look, see if we can find out. Z petrol station. Numbers in New Zealand. Is it going to tell me how many there are? Probably not. Oh, hang on. I saw a question there. How many Z petrol stations are there in New Zealand? There are 208. Wow, it's 208. There's 208 places in New Zealand you should be able to buy that pie from. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 150 truck stops. Wow, interesting. Simon, changing the blasting cabinet to aqua blasting may be cleaner for you for your workshop. Aqua blasting, yes, that's where you use water and it has the medium, in the water, doesn't it? Good point. There's lots of options. I suppose the only downside of that is you'd have to make sure that once you've finished blasting the workpiece, you'd have to make damn sure you dry it really well, otherwise it's going to rust pretty quickly. Things rust really fast here in New Zealand when they're not coated, so that could be an issue. Vapor blasting. Okay, I'll have to check all this out. It's all new to me. Mike Adams, soda blasters do the same thing, but it uses baking soda as the media. I've not used one either, but from what I've seen and read, cleanup is easier. I don't know if baking soda is going to have the bite to get through that hard crust on the steel. And that's why we're doing it, because the paint won't adhere to it very well. Even if it's got etching primer, it just doesn't seem to bite in and the paint flakes off, which is very, very bad. So, yeah, bit of a problem. But as with everything, we learn and we investigate and do the research and try it and see what works. And I'll keep giving you the feedback. So hopefully. Dry ice blasting. I think we're getting a little bit expensive now. Imagine buying dry ice to do that. That require way too much coordination. So hopefully this afternoon, well, after the live stream, not hopefully, it's going to happen, despite it raining, which is actually, it's a bit cooler today. Yesterday was red hot. I was sweating my nuts off cleaning the workshop out. Going to finish the Myford lathe. That video is definitely going to happen today. And hopefully at some point during the week I'll be able to get it edited up for you. It'll just be a fast edit. I'm not going to go for any, bells and whistles stuff on there. I just want to get it done. And then I can, behind the scenes, I can make a list of all the final bits and pieces that I need. Most of them are little fasteners and screws and stuff that I should be able to source here in New Zealand and not have to go through Myford for. But I think there's still some more bushes and bits and pieces that I might need to get from Myford. Either that or make them up on the other lathe, the little Boxford. And then I'm going to be full bore on Allen's CB750. And I get done what I get done. I don't want to rush through the videos, and I definitely will include the carb balancing. That's a critical part to it. But fitting all the little bits and pieces around the bike, I might throw all that into one video and just run through it quickly, because otherwise it's going to get too boring. There's no more diagnostic work. There's no more major repairs to do. Hopefully, the bike has to be finished, or whatever stage it's going to be in, and it's shipped Thursday morning back up to Auckland. And I'm meeting Jared and Jared from Forge and Brandon from Tang Tools. We're going to meet up on Thursday afternoon for a pint, because the pubs are open in Auckland now, and that will be great. It's been a really weird year. They've both continued to support the channel immeasurably. They're always there when I need them, and providing everything that I need at a discounted price. But their knowledge base is also extremely helpful, and they're always really willing to help, which is nice, even though they're both extremely busy gentlemen. JJ, what do you use for rust prevention? Well, the majority of machines that I have to rust prevent are the ROVs that the surf clubs use, and they operate on the beach. It's a really, really harsh environment. So I use Underseal. We call it, it's a bitumen-based Underseal. Let me go and grab a can. Hang on. Now, in fact, actually, you get to see the Schutz gun. So you've got to buy yourself one of these little guns. They're really cheap. Obviously, you can see I keep it really clean. I have cleaned it a few times, but it gets pretty blathered pretty quick. These are about $30 here in New Zealand. And at the moment, I'm using the Forge Underseal. Normally, I use the 3M stuff, but to be perfectly honest, I think it's about the same kind of gear inside. I don't know. Not done any kind of analysis, but the finish, if anything, the finish on the Forge stuff, whether it's because maybe it's newer stock, I don't know. The finish on the Forge stuff is actually slightly better on the ones that I sprayed recently. But it's an L250 is their part number, if you want to try some down there. I always spray the machines when they're brand new, so there's no rust on the chassis. It's just going onto nice clean paint, and that seems to work the best. And we get a good 3 years out of it before it starts to break through and you start to get rusty patches around. Whereas without it, working on the beach 2-3 weeks and you've already got rust stains developing in certain areas, which is not good at all. It's more to do with rust occurring on the inside of the chassis on the ROV, and then when the water's flushed out, it carries that rust out and it just puts staining on top of the paint. It still looks crap, but that using the Underseal seems to stop that completely, which is really, really good. And the vehicles are in a far, far better condition after 3 years once they've had the Underseal put on from day one, and of course they're worth a lot more money, which is what it's all about. We're going to try and the main reason isn't just to make it look nice. The main reason is to preserve the value of the vehicle for when it's sold after 3 years by the club and the money goes back in the pot. The more money that goes back in, the easier it is for the club to operate, because they're all charity-based clubs. I think they get a bit of funding from the government, but the vast majority of their funding is generated through fundraising, and BP actually support the surf clubs every year. They do like a campaign where you buy so much fuel and they donate so much money to surf clubs, which is really good. It's really good to see that. And of course, 3M provide all the Underseal for free for the surf club vehicles, which is it's a massive ask. It really is. And I would say over the last 4 years, they've provided about 20,000 New Zealand dollars worth retail value of Underseal for those vehicles, which is that's fantastic, isn't it? It's really good of them to do that. Now then, where do we get to? Daz 323323. There is also dry ice blasting. Okay, sorry, Daz. Yeah, I don't think I'll be going down that route. JJ, rust preservation. JJ says just in general around the workshop for tools and machinery. Oh, okay, just around the workshop. So for things like the lathe and stuff, just make sure the bed stays oiled. Pie, hang on. Let's just go back over here. Hang on. Let's go and look, see if we can find it, because there's some really good stuff that I use from Forge that I often spray things with. Oh, there we are. Look, that's the one. The S401 is like a spray grease, but it's not the same as the CRC stuff. This is a lot thinner, and it works its way really well into joints and stuff, and it leaves a clear, transparent film on whatever it is you spray it on. So it's good for stuff if you're going to be not using it for a while. I mean, for example, I can't get to it, but yeah, for the lathe bed, you know, you can spray it on here if you're going to be going away and not using the lathe for a while. Yeah, I know it's filthy, it gets used every day. You know, you can clean the bed and then you can spray it on there, and it'll just stop any kind of rust developing if the machine's not going to be used for a while. And of course it acts as the lubricant anyway, so it's not going to be of any harm to the lathe. You know, it's pretty cool actually. Yeah, I know it needs a clean. It's been a lot worse than this, to be honest, but it could be better, couldn't it? Yes, I know. But Andy doesn't have time. Andy's too busy. I'm going to charge you up again because I need this phone for the videos later on. Otherwise, if it goes flat, it'd be an excuse to stop filming. Bruce Cleaver, I've just ordered 2 mugs, including one with the YouTube on. Okay, thank you. I'll let you know when they turn up. Not bothered if they're here for Christmas, as long as they land. Okay, please keep me informed. There was, after I had my little headbutt with the Zazzle team, I do know a few months later somebody did buy a mug, and they were successful in getting it. So whether the restrictions being lifted or whether, I don't know, there's a loophole or whatever, I just don't know. But please keep me informed. Flick me an email, maybe take a picture of them, send an email through with the photo, and then I'll know, because at the moment I'm just not really promoting that side of it. I'm not putting links on the videos anymore, those little tabs that pop up at the top of the screen, because it was getting a bit uncertain, and I don't like uncertainty. I don't want to recommend something to somebody and then they're having problems getting what they want. But I will need to look at another supplier, and I know, so obviously Colin Furs, he's based in the UK, very successful YouTube channel. I was watching his latest tunnel video this morning, actually, before the live stream, and you can buy Colin Furs mugs. I have one, and I think they come from the UK, so maybe I can use the same platform that he does and get some mugs made up there. We will have to wait and see, won't we? All in the new year. Right, we'll just let the pie sit for a couple of minutes, and then we will be doing the pie review. We've got, holy moly, we're 48 minutes in already. We do ramble on, don't we? But it's all good fun. JJ, humidity is such an issue in Auckland. I now have oscillating fans running 24/7 to keep the air moving around my garage workshop. That is crazy, but you're absolutely right. Things do rust up really quick. I noticed that when I first came to New Zealand, if you park your car up for even a day, the brake discs are already starting to rust. It's just bizarre how different it is to in the UK. It would take weeks for that to happen in England. Simon Rawl, XPC rust blocker. Simply Diag put me onto it. Works a treat. XPC rust blocker. What's that? Let's have a look. Delete. XPC rust blocker. Looks like it's out of Australia. Here we go, look. Turn you around. Boom, boom, boom. Right, what have we got? That's Prolan. There we are, rust blocker. Come on, you can do it. Come on, little laptop. Chug, 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 chug. There we go, look. XPC Professional Rust Blocker. Come on, touch screen. What's going on? Oh yeah. XPC Rust Blocker is a soft anti-corrosive compound. It creates a soft, long-lasting protective barrier to protect any steel, metal, or alloy surface against the effects of rust and corrosion. Spray it, wipe it, brush it, or dip it. A soft tack that resists cracking depending on the level of protection. That looks pretty cool. So $24, that will be Australian dollars, $24 per can. And they've got many in stock. Not a sponsor. Looks like a good alternative, to be honest. Definitely worth a try. I might try and get some of that in actually and see how it works. Good job. Thanks, Simon. Right, got to finish the cigarettes. Piling down. It's always weird seeing the live stream on the laptop in comparison. Oh, I thought we'd lost the quality there, but we're all right. Yes, Steve's full of good ideas. JJ, the fans are $30 or cheaper ones from the warehouse. Yep, I have. Here you go. Look, this is all I have at the moment. Air conditioning is planned for the workshop one day, but all I have is this little thing. I've actually cleaned it because it was black from all the spraying we did the other day. Jeez. But it does the job. You can open the side door. You do get it does actually produce quite a reasonable through draft through the workshop. And it was getting rid of all the paint fumes because believe it or not, I'm able to, if I hang, because I spray with the parts hung on little hooks. We've made hundreds of little hooks to hang things up on. I stood in the middle of the workshop, and I've got basically a bit of flat bar bent at right angles at the bottom with an eye bolt that's not fully tight, so it rotates. I hook the hook into there, and I can spray around it, and I can turn the items around using a screwdriver through one of the holes if it's a big part, and get it all sprayed in one hit, not having to do one side then the other if you have it laid down, and then just basically promptly go and hang it up under the carport to dry. And under the carport, I'm not kidding, was absolutely full of parts sprayed. Hundreds. There were 500 components to spray, but it all worked out really well. And because I'm spraying right in the middle of the workshop, any overspray that's blasted around the workshop, and of course Alan's bike was outside, there's no way I would spray with that in the workshop, and all the other bikes are outside as well. The paint has actually dried by the time it reaches any shelving or any other items in the workshop, so it doesn't stick to it, it just leaves a black dust. But most of it is on the concrete, so it's just a quick sweep at the end and it's done. So I don't actually need to have a spray booth as such. I did do some spraying on this workbench and I made a big cardboard booth out of it, but it just, in fact, a lot of it's still on the lights. A lot of the lights got all that black dust on them and it made it really bad, but doing it down at the far end of the workshop worked really, really well. It's not ideal. I could do with a separate shed for spraying and lots of good lighting in there and stuff, but to all intents and purposes, it's good enough for what I need. And if I can spray 500 parts, and not be too detrimental to the workshop, then I think it's a bit of a win. Pete, hit the like, everybody. Thanks, Pete. We've got 19 likes and 30 viewers. Cheers, Pete. JJ, also seen to get less spider webs now that the fans are running. Yes, there's a lot of spiders live in this workshop. And you're right, when I'm spraying, man, does it find the spider webs? Because it clings to the webs and there's just, it's hideous. I did actually clean quite a few away yesterday. It's not so good. And at various points around the workshop, the greenery of the garden seems to get like creepers coming in. It's sort of the work way between the timbers and they come in. So I have to do a bit of pruning as well behind the cupboards and things. Only seems to happen this time of year though. So it's not the end of the world. But it's all right. It's a good workshop. It's actually a really good workshop. It's very multifunctional. Does a lot. Although I've got a light that stopped working. I don't know why. I have to investigate that for now at some point. But hey, there's enough lights to go around at the moment. How's Mr. Mouse? I've not heard Mr. Mouse this morning. He usually runs above my head and off down that way, but he's not been around yet. He must still be in bed. So, yes, Holly in the workshop. So Holly will hopefully be on the live stream next Sunday. That's the plan. Now, week to come. I know we've still got the pie to do, and I'm still having my cigarettes, so I have to hang on a bit. Week to come, what's next? Well, I think I've covered that already, haven't I? CB750, basically. I've just got to smash it out. It's as simple as that. I won't be editing any of those videos this week. I'll just be on the tools, on the bike, getting it done and filming it. And the edits will all get done leading up to Christmas and just before the bike trip starts. But then again, I've got lots of work to do on the bike, so it's a bit of a juggling act time-wise to get everything done. But I'd like to have all those videos edited up so that I can release them while I'm away on the bike trip. That would be really organised. It might not happen. JJ, try letting a bug bomb off periodically. Oh, I hate those things. But it's not too bad. We've got a fly zapper thing in the corner, which is currently turned off, actually. I turned it off because of all the spraying, because you know it could lead to an explosion. And forgot to turn it back on again. One day, I will. So yes, busy week coming up. I might. I've got leave booked from the last day at work, 17th. So from the 18th, I'm on annual leave for a month. But the way things are going with that border is I might actually cancel some of that annual the first week of that annual leave, which will take me up to Christmas Eve, and then bolt it on to the end of that holiday. Just shift the whole annual leave month period by a whole week, just to take the pressure off with that border, because I really can't imagine that they're going to run it permanently. I'm pretty sure it's just for the holiday period, just for that Christmas New Year period. But who knows? I might have to plan a back road route to get up there. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Escape the borderites. Right, let's go and grab this pie, because I'm getting hungry. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Turn you round. Right. I even cleaned the big air compressor. How cool is that? Most unlike me. Look, it's not covered in dust anymore. And it really, really, really was covered in dust. And I think she's a little bit low on oil now as well. I'll have to top that up. But it's holding air. Look, still holding air. Good job. Right. The pie. Here we go. Dum, dum, dum. Didn't catch fire. That's always a good start. Close the door, Andy. Close the door. There we go. Right. What have we got? How does it look? Not too fast. Not too fast. YouTube doesn't like it when I flick around the workshop too quick. Right. So pop it down there. Plug you back in. You've got to keep it charged up. It's amazing how quickly the batteries go down when you're filming. 83%, you see. That's where we're at. Go away, fly. I'll turn the fly zapper back on. Okay, so this is, for those that have just joined us, this is a Z petrol station pie. And if we just do a quick rotate, we're looking for basically at structure and presentation now. Dum, 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 dum. We've got, it's very flaky, nearly in the coffee. We've got a bit of a gap developing on the lid. I'm not going to prise it too much, but that does seem to be loose. So I'll start at that end and give it the best possible chance, as always. Okay, steak and cheese from the Z petrol station. Here we go. Bit of a lift on this corner. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. It does appear that the lid is sort of, the top layer of pastry, the crusty pastry, is lifting away, but it's not actually broken the main seal to the pie, so that's a good thing. Otherwise it'd be all over the bench probably. Pretty hot. Wow. No big chunks of meat yet. Just like lots of gravy, really. You can see it just starting to ooze out. So, taste, stroke, flavour. It tastes all right. It's not mind-blowing. We've got some more lift just happening here, look. And it's very, very flaky. It's not one that you could eat in your car. You're gonna, well, not if you want to try and get your car clean. Almost on a par of a mince and cheese, to be honest. I'm just going to lift that up so you can see inside. There you go, look. It's nice and hot, but it's quite runny. So now will be a really good time to do the runnability test. And I've not tasted much cheese yet. Okay, here we go. 45-degree angle. Is it going to flow out? Can you see any movement? Honestly, who would have a YouTube channel doing pies, really? But anyway, it's all very important information for those pie eaters out there. It's pretty much stayed stationary. I can't see any very, very slow movement, actually. So it's pretty safe. It's pretty safe. What should we give that? It's not rock solid. I'm going to give it an 8. I think an 8 for that one. So runnability is 8. Now, I've got to be very careful not to miss out categories this week, because I missed a couple of categories last week, and then you guys, fortunately, helped me out on that one. It's one of those pies that, when you bite into it, the contents do ooze forward. So you've got to be wary of that, otherwise it could ooze and drop out. Really only minced so far. There's no big chunks of meat at all. Just little tiny pieces. That's bad. This one, I think it was about $4.50 from memory. Wow. I think there's more pastry on the bench than there is going in my mouth at the moment. Wow, we've got all sorts going on here. So, taste. We can do the taste now, I think. It's okay. Oh, hang on, what have we got? Oh, Mrs. Mechanic. What does Mrs. Mechanic want? Bear with me here. Oh, just woke up, turn onto your live stream, it keeps dropping out. Anybody else having a drop out on the live stream, or is it just our internet? Or the house internet, should I say, it's separate to this one. Interesting. Okay. So, taste stroke flavour. I'm going to give it a 6, to be honest, because it doesn't taste of real chunky meat. You're not getting that kind of satisfaction of biting into big chunks of meat. Structure Foley Partners. Well, it's not brilliant, to be honest. It constantly keeps oozing, which I think is part of it. You know, it's not all staying in one place. There's a risk of it flowing all over your trousers when you're driving. I'm going to give it, geez, I mean, it hasn't fallen apart completely. I think, what, 6? I think a 6 is fair. Okay, meat quality. Well, there's a good one. Actually quite hard to tell because the pieces of meat are so small. I'm going to go with a 5. I think the meat quality leaves a lot to be desired at the moment. Pie to crust ratio. Well, if I can just, what have I got? I've got a knife here. This one there. Let's get my knife out. Hey, remind me, we've still got a parcel to do, don't forget. Oh, there's some cheese. All right, meat. You can see there, it's just goo, basically. It's in the middle of there. Sorry, knife. Yeah, so we're doing pie to crust ratio. There is quite a bit of pastry. So pastry to contents ratio. I'm going to give it, there's a lot of gravy actually. I'm going to give it a 6. Availability logistics, well, 208, was it? 208 Z petrol stations around. That's pretty good actually. You can't order it online. You've got to go to a petrol station to get it, but it is ready to eat when you get there, assuming they haven't sold. Pardon me. Assuming they haven't sold out. So, I think what, a 7? I think a 7 for that one. I think it's fair. Quite a few places you can get it from. Pastry taste rating. Well, I'm going to try and peel off the crust. Maybe. Hopefully, there we go. Look. And we're looking for some kind of a weird aftertaste. Oh, hang on. We've got a bit of a run going on here. Okay. Right, and needs a bit more pastry now. It's all right. It's a bit bland. Pastry taste rating. I don't know. 5? Yeah, I think 5's fair. Packaging design. I'm just going to miss out the tasty and cold one. We'll do that a bit later on. I should change the order of these, really. Well, as you saw earlier on, the packaging is just a white paper bag. So it's not very inspiring, is it? It's not themed. Any writing on there is what Mrs. Mechanic put on earlier on when I gave it to her. The pie, that is. So, packaging design, a paper bag. Let's go with a white one. Good choice. I think just a 1 for that, for just a paper bag. Recyclable score, well, it's a paper bag, so that's 10, but it doesn't tell us it's recyclable, so it only gets a 9. It loses a point for that. Pie server attractiveness. She was pretty nice, actually. I'll give her a 7. She was all right. Good job. Okay, going in. Wow. Jeez, look at that. Can you see that okay? Very bright lights in here. A lot of cheese. Pretty much a mouthful of cheese there. Right, I'm going to go for it now. Here we go. It's all right. It's not a pie that I buy again. It's just filling me up, and it's got some kind of flavour to it, but it's not really a pie that you definitely seek out again to have. Yeah. What else we got left? Still tasty when cold. It's not cold yet. Let's put the fan on. That'll help. There we go. That'll cool it down really quick. Whew. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had much worse pies than this, and it hasn't all fallen apart. It's been pretty close, but it hasn't. It's required quite a reasonable degree of pie management as this one to eat, which is something that you do struggle with when you try and do other stuff at the same time. Yeah. Well, still tasty when cold. I don't think it will be. It's just hanging in there, being tasty when it's warm. So I'm going to give it a. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. I think it'd be pretty pants when it's cold. Stuffability score. Am I stuffed? And I've got a little bit left still to go. Oh, itchy nose. Is it enough? Would I want more? Well, I'm just pleased I've got a coffee with it, that's for sure. A stuffability score. It was quite a small pie. I'll give it a 6. It's not too bad. Right. Live TV. Can't get any better. Post pie heartburn. Well, it has repeated on me already once. I always let this score, I reserve the right to change it later on, should it start to repeat on me. It's just a pie. It's done. It's gone. Wasn't particularly inspiring, to be honest. But it's not bad on the old heartburn side of it. I feel okay at the moment. I'm going to give it an 8. Okay, we've got some scores to add up. Hopefully, I've covered everything. Shout in the comments if I have missed one of the categories, because that's terrible. Right, let's get rid of that. Turn you round. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Look at all the shrapnel on the bench. That would be on your car seat, on your floor mat. It'd be stuck between the gear lever and the little rubber there. It'd be down tucked down by the handbrake gaiter, you know, down the side of your seat. Oh, pardon me. It's going to make a real mess, isn't it, of your car? And this is a pie from a petrol station. They have to think that people are going to eat them while they're driving. You know what I mean? Some people will. I won't, because that's dangerous. But some people will. Okay, so there's 13 categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've done it. We've got all of them. So 12, 20, 25, 31, 38, 43, 46, 47, 56, 64, 70, 77. 77. Not too bad, I suppose. Not too bad. Dum dum dum. Right, now, where's my little magnetic strip? There he is. Right, Z petrol station. Steak and cheese. And there was definitely a lot of cheese in it, but all in one place, which is a bit weird. 77. We've not had a high scoring pie for a while, have we? Okay, let's go and see where this ends up on the leaderboard. Okay, here we go. Dum 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 dum. Z petrol station, steak and cheese. 77. Wow. Hang on to that for a second, Lily. Okay, so it's going to end up right down here somewhere, so we need to move things down a bit. Oh, look, they're all getting... In fact, you can see the overspray. I think it's out on the camera or not, but there's all these little streaks now. Yeah, there, look. Overspray. Damn, poor workshop. Right, we'll stick all those down there. 77. Cheers, Lily. Right, stick him on there. So basically it's tied in with Culverden Bakery's Southern Man Pie, which I didn't really like that, to be honest. I didn't. And I'm not a fan of this one either. Nope. I must admit, pies are a very personal thing, aren't they? You know? But we've done a few, haven't we? Look at all those. Pretty good. And the really ironic thing is that Atter's Bar, chicken, bacon and mushroom and cheese, got 106, and it's not even a steak and cheese pie. I mean, what the hell? When we did their steak and cheese, or was it steak and mince? Where's the Atter's Bar steak and mince? Down here, look. Oh, mince and cheese, that was it. Sorry, Atter's Bar mince and cheese. Bit dusty. Oh, God. Mince and cheese, very, very runny. Only got a 67. It was crap. I think they should really focus on the chicken ones, because that was really nice. Right, back to the bench. Dum dum dum. Turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Coolio. Right, plug you back in. Now, in fact, we've forgotten Simon's parcel. Hang on. Let's go and get the parcel. Geez, sorry, Simon. Let's do that while we're moving around. Look, we have a parcel. Nice. Okay, let's go to the parcel opening table. This only arrived the other day. It's pretty cool. Right, I'm going to swap tripods. You're going to go on the bigger tripod. Everything's covered in dust, look. Oh, God. Okay, going down. Brilliant. Right, so I need to clean my blade because it got pie on it. Okay, we're going in. So Simon Rawle has sent this all the way from England. And Simon always sends me a parcel for Christmas. So I imagine that some of this stuff is going to be for Christmas, obviously. So it's not going to get consumed today, that's for sure. There we go. Right. This is live TV. I've not opened this yet, so I haven't pre-opened it, so I have no idea. Wow. Really well packed, Simon. Good job, mate. Look at that. Somebody likes pallet wrap. Hey, that's weird. Look.
It's already had a knife. Oh, maybe that was me when I opened it. Please. I can't imagine it was that. I was very careful opening it. I wonder if the customs have already been in. Has it been resealed? It's got some clear tape on it, Simon. Did you put that on? Because your tape looks like it's black. So maybe customs have been in to double check that Simon's not sending me some unauthorised stuff. Maybe. Normally they have a little label on saying customs inspected, but this one hasn't got that. Can you see? You can see. Jeez. Holy moly, Simon. Simon, you're an amazing packer, mate, honestly. We've got half a dozen tins of Heinz English baked beans. Look at those. Absolutely brilliant. I do like my baked beans, and these, Simon, are all going to go on the bike trip, because this is what I'll be living off. Well, hopefully other stuff as well, but wow. I won't open all of them now, but look at that. Heinz, not a sponsor. They can be if they want to be. I'll have to maybe send them an email. Heinz baked beans, small tins for travel purposes. Brilliant choice, Simon. Thank you very much again. I will very much look forward to eating those in the middle of nowhere in New Zealand. What have we got here? Tying and wheel, locking wheel nut removal. Always a good thing. There's the phone. Oh, he's blanked out. Enjoy. Thank you, Simon. That will go up in the ceiling somewhere. I always keep the little cards. And last but not least, a super sealed packet. Oh my word, what we got this time? What brand is this? I can't tell what brand it is, but it's glorious cheese and onion crisps. I think they are. Yes, crisps. There we are. Thank you very much, Simon. And I do like the way that you reinforce your crisp packets to survive the trip. Very, very cool. Thank you for that. They will take pride and place somewhere. I'm not going to eat them today. I might even on a live stream somewhere on the trip, maybe. Who knows? Because there'll be a few little live streams going on as well. Right, turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay, right, onto the little tripod. Trying to do this in a way that it's not too bad. Oh my word, tin of beans fell over. Okay, back to the bench. There we go. Plug you in, need the power. Oh, that fan's really nice. It's getting quite warm now. Oh, poor old bench. Mr. Mousy is going to love this lot. Jeez, I might put some of it in the bin, I think. So, where are we at? An hour and 18 minutes in. Comments? What's going on? Where did we get to? Oh, I've got to reverse back a bit. I've been talking to myself for ages. Keep going. Oh, dropouts, yes. Oh my word, right. Oh, right. Jim Haynes, on the CB750, besides the carb air intake stuff, what else is left to do? Well, there's a bit. Should we go and have a look in the drawer? We're going to keep darting around the workshop, don't we? Let's go look in the drawer and see what parts we've still got left. Because there are some. I had a look down here. One of these drawers has got some bits and pieces in. I think it's this one. Yes. So it's got the old triple clamp in it. We've got those carb bits. They're all in there. So we know about that. They're all there. And CB750 K2. Look at the dust. Look at this. Crazy. Right. We've got... Oh, the little bulb holders to fit for the speedo and the rev counter, which was very, very kindly sent through by Jim, I think it was. We've got gaskets and bits and pieces. We've got in here, what the hell was in here? Oh, bulb. Exhaust rubbers, because they're the wrong ones that are on it. They're the little linking, the little mini balance pipe bits. Geez. Oh, clutch cable. Yes, it needed the clutch cable on it. We've got to do a service on it, so there's an oil filter somewhere. Oh, there's the oil filter, there we are, look. There's some rear foot peg rubbers to fit. Sorry, in shot, Andy, in shot. Some rear foot peg rubbers, because one of them's badly burnt for some reason, I don't know why. Oh god, there's loads of stuff under here, look. There's, hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it's still got the little spike on it, but there's the odometer trip reset knob that's missing, so we've got one. Managed to get one of those. I'm quite surprised about that actually. And oh, just little bits like the rubbers to cover the hydraulic brake hose banjos and stuff, just to try and tidy it up. Oh, and there's some new, that's right, because we got new hydraulic hoses for the front, because they're looking pretty rusty on the crimps. So there's both of those to go on. So I've got to re-bleed the front brake again. There's some more inserts for the silencers. Alan's fitted one. There's three more to go on. Just lots of little odds and ends really, just to try and tidy the thing up. That's part of the little bulb holder things. What's that? Oh, that's a new gasket. Oh, I nearly forgot about that. That's a new gasket for the airbox. Yeah, heaps. But all little stuff. I'll tidy that up later on because it's not going to shut now, is it? Jeez. So, soon, little bike. Soon you'll be finished. It has to happen, actually. Alan was very, very polite. He said, look, if at all you could possibly find time to finish the bike, I really, really would like it back for the 20th. So, I have to get it finished. I really do. Oh, God. Yeah, we'll get there. We will get there. Back to the comments. So yeah, hopefully, Jim, that's helped. Mike Bazanski, what spares and supplies will you pack up for the trip? I assume most of that will be in the ute. Yes, the ute, the support vehicle, is going to be carrying pretty much everything that I need. All I'll be carrying on the bike, I mean, the top box is going to be pretty much full of camera gear, radio gear, spare memory cards, batteries, all that kind of stuff, because there might be some sections of the route that I have to do solo with the support vehicle going around on the main road, and hopefully we'll be able to keep communication with the CB radios, assuming there aren't too many big mountains in the way, because I am trying to focus and stick as much into the wilderness as possible, and usually the wilderness involves big hills here in New Zealand, so mountain ranges. So we might lose CB radio contact at some point as well during the trip, probably more than one occasion in all honesty. So I really will be all on my own, and there won't be any cell phone coverage. I can guarantee that. But the ute, basically, I'm just going to get a couple of bunker boxes, which is a big plastic box with a lid, and I'm just going to throw in basically all the bits and pieces that have come off the two donor bikes to build this one. So spare coils, CDI, probably a spare stator. I even have a spare engine. I've never run it. I don't know. I might even chuck the spare engine in, because it's not a big job to change an engine on one of those things. Just in case for some reason it destroys the bore or the big end goes, because giving it beans all the time. It is a very, very long way to go. I haven't even finished the route yet, so I don't know the final expected Ks. But I reckon somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 kilometers, and that's a long way. I don't know what distance it is by road. I mean, it's 500, 600. Yeah, it's over 2,000 kilometers from Cape Reinga to Bluff by main road, so probably more like 3.5, because we're doing a lot of zigzagging, a lot of gravel, which is all really, really wiggly, and that dramatically increases the Ks, so it might even be up to 4,000. I just don't know yet. And that's a huge ask to get an old second-hand, practically thrown on the scrap heap farm bike. Yes, we've done a bit of work to it, but I've not done any mechanical work whatsoever to the engine. It's just going to get a service. I do have a new clutch to put in it. So one of the videos with Holly, possibly I'll be doing with Holly, will be to replace the clutch plates. There's no reason why we can't do it. It all depends on time, how we get on. I want to do the service on the bike with Holly, because she'll enjoy that. So really, I need to do the clutch plates before the service, obviously, for the oil change.
So probably two big bunker boxes of parts, because we've got lots of other stuff to get in there as well. And there is limited space. I did get asked the other day actually, "Hey Andy, I hear you're coming down to the South Island soon." I said, "Yes, bike trip. Oh, can you bring me an engine?" So there's a possibility of I think it's an SV 650 motor to take down to Ashburton from Auckland as well. But no news is good news. He hasn't confirmed yet. So I always like to help out. But if I could not have an engine in the back of the ute as well, would be a bonus because we're going to run out of space. And we've got the little dog to take. Team Marmite's coming with us. So hopefully that answers that. I'll probably be taking a couple of spare tyres, tubes, yeah, just the regular stuff really. Gene Nicholson, Vio, FYI. Okay. RMAX 7. Oh, sorry, RX Maz 7. Greetings from Whitby in Canada. I used to go to Whitby in the UK quite a lot. New Year's Day normally, we'd go to Whitby. RX Maz, big smiley face. Simon, no dropout in the UK. It must just be our crappy internet here then. Simon, don't know. And George Bonnie 90, all good here. Thank you, George. Sheldon's still here. Haven't you got bikes to service, Sheldon? Pi testing is important information for busy techs on the road. It is. We're always against the clock. I know I am when I'm out driving. I mean, the last time I went up to Auckland was Friday. I left early because I had a lot to do. Left here at 7:30, which is early to me. Okay, I've been out earlier, but it's early enough. Left at 7:30. Got a puncher on the big trailer. Yeah, I know there's 6 tyres on the road, and I thought, well, do I just keep going? And I think actually it'd been flat for a while because the tyre was red hot. And it was destroyed. I mean, it hadn't lost its integrity. It hadn't like shredded itself. But you can tell when when the carcass has failed. I mean, these are commercial tyres, 10 ply. They normally run at 120 psi, which means you can't blow them up at a petrol station because the maximum psi that the machine gave me was 60, which is no good at all. But it was completely flat, and the sidewalls were incredibly soft, and they're normally really hard. So obviously, when they get the tyre taken off, you know, I'll see that all the cords have broken down and they've all broken free from the rubber and stuff. Luckily, I had a spare. Always carry a spare tyre and a spare wheel with me, so I got that fitted at the petrol station and carried on. No further problems. But I lost about 25 minutes because of that. Plus, I had to have my pie before I set off. Finally got up to Red Beach. Should have got there at noon. Finally rocked up at 5 to 1. I think it was in the end, 5 to 1. Dropped the vehicle off. I was there pretty quick, in and out. Then I had to go all the way over to Bethel's Beach. The surf club there had a problem with one of their ROVs. The rev limiter was cutting in. It would only go about 14 k's an hour before it was bah. Rev limiter. Turned out to be a broken wire on the driver's seatbelt clasp. Basically the seatbelts have to be plugged in for the rev limiter to be taken off, you know. Seatbelt was plugged in. Because the circuit was broken, the ECU still felt it was still saw open circuit, so the rev limiter stuck in. But that actually was a 10-minute fix. I just bypassed, snipped the wires off the buckle. In actual fact, they're both pulled out. Just cleaned them up and basically just did a loop on them, taped it all up, and I was on my way, and it was fixed. So that actually turned out, caught up with a bit of time on that one. And then from there, had to go to the PO box to pick up Simon's parcel. I didn't know it was Simon's parcel at the time. I just knew there was a parcel to pick up. Picked that up, and then I had to hot-foot it straight to Natia to pick up Trevor the tractor. And on the way, I needed fuel. I'd already burnt a full tank of fuel by that point. So I got some fuel, got a coffee, and off I went. And I managed to get to Natia. They close at 5 o'clock. I rolled in at 4 minutes past 5. So pretty close. Obviously, I'd rung ahead to say I'm running a little bit late. I told them about 1:15, but as it turned out, I managed to get the hammer down and catch up a little bit of time. No policemen around, which was nice. Plus, the border crossing was pretty quick this time around. So All in all, got Trevor loaded up. Pretty heavy load because it had the forks on, plus the bucket, plus the rear bucket, plus the auger attachment, plus the auger drill, the actual hydraulic motor part of it. So poor old Trevor was weighing a bit more than normal. Got him on the trailer, got him really well strapped down, and then trundled my way home. And it was happy about 80 k's an hour. Any more than that, it was just starting to sway around a little bit. And that's because Trevor was sat a little bit further back on the trailer than normal because it had the pallet forks on. So had to go a little bit slower. Got home, called it up to Matamata, picked up some tea, and then got home, I think, bang on 8:30 p.m. So it wasn't too bad. I was, 13 hours. And the wheels hardly stopped rolling. Again, busy day. Thank you, Sheldon. Drew, mincemeat pies are a Christmas thing here in the UK. They are, and I really like them with double cream. And there isn't any meat minced. There isn't any meat minced or otherwise in them. I know it's odd, isn't it? It's a sweet mince. It's different. Sheldon, definitely a two-hand pie. Yes, lots of shrapnel from that pie, unfortunately. Jim, everything fine in Virginia YouTube wise. Thank you, Jim. So definitely a problem at our end. Drew, this looks like a mincemeat and cheese pie, but with meat. Yeah, it didn't really give any indication it was a steak pie. It really, you're correct. It really was a mince pie, a mince meat pie. Show 'em right YouTube channel. Rest in peace. Those that got caught up in them tornadoes. What tornadoes? I have no idea. Who had a tornado? Simon Raw. The card is a shameless plug. That's all right, Simon. Plugs are fine. I almost put an empty Thomas the baker's. Oh, you are. If you had. So you can sub the packaging on a good pie in a plain bag. You should do that on the next one. A Thomas the Baker's empty bag, just to make me drool even further. Okay. Richie, mate. Morning, Andy and crew. Had a pie last week for lunch, and without realising it, found myself doing your pie test. Good man. Scored pretty high too. Excellent. Well, thank you, Richie. Appreciate that. And I do exactly the same thing now, and I never used to do it. It's all because of doing the pie surveyology thing on the channel. And I obviously eat more pies than what I do to camera. And I do the same thing. If I'm with Mrs. Mechanic, I'll start to comment on the pie, and I don't mean to do it. It just seems to be a natural thing now. Subconscious. Simon, looks like customs. I think so. Bruce Cleaver, cold beans from the tin. I don't mind cold baked beans, actually. I've had them before. Simon Raw, Walkers. Thank you, Simon. I just didn't recognise the packaging. It's changed so much since I had a packet of Walker's crisps in England. Bruce Cleaver, talking of crisps, the Co-op are doing gravy puffs. Gravy flavoured Wotsits. Huh? Gravy flavoured crisps. That's mental. Simon, gravy puffs are the MOT? Are the MOT? What? Gravy puffs are the most just beef Monster Munch Bruce. Oh, I like beef Monster Munches. They're good. Sheldon, it will be that sort of KS when we biked down both west sides of the island. Yeah, oh, kilometres. K's, there you go. So it would be that sort of K's when we biked down both west sides of the islands. It was 2,380. Yeah, my route's not very direct at all. It flicks from the west coast to the east coast to the west coast, and that's just the North Island. Of course, I'm doing 90 Mile Beach, and I will be on my own on that. I'm not going to risk the support ute on 90 Mile Beach. There are a couple of sections which are very soft, and there are a couple of river crossings you've got to do as well, which can get pretty deep. I don't mind getting the bike stuck, that's not the end of the world, but if I get the ute stuck, we've got no additional recovery. There's no winch on the front, I haven't got any waffle boards to attempt some self recovery. Normally, when you get stuck on the beach, you're stuck on the beach, and that beach, when the tide comes in, your vehicle is underwater. The tide comes right up to the dunes, and there's been many four-wheel drives lost on that 90-mile beach, and you can be a very long way from any help as well. So the ute will be staying on the main road, which actually it's quite a slim peninsula, is that bit. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to maintain radio contact through that section of the route, but it will mean that I'm all on my own, flat tapped throttle stop all the way down. Probably going to need to refuel, so I'll need to take a 5-litre can of fuel with me, I think, just to be on the safe side. So I must remember to take that with me, a 5-litre can of juice, and we'll just strap it on top of the top box, I think. Now, where do we get to? Thank you for that, Sheldon. Ruth. No, I think Ruth is a spam person, actually. Purple Monkey, 1974. Tornadoes in the USA. Jeez, you see, I don't watch the news very often. Sorry. Mike Adams. Show 'em right is referring to the lives lost in the tornadoes that hit western Kentucky, Tennessee, and southern Illinois here in the States. Over 50 lost so far. Holy moly, I just didn't know, I'm sorry. I think with all these recent changes in weather systems and stuff, the old tornadoes are becoming quite a more popular problem, aren't they? Bit of an issue. So, 1 hour and 36 minutes, 33 viewers, 25 likes. What's going on? If you've not clicked the like button, now's a good time to smash it. It sure is. Yes, so I have to crack on now. I have to get on with that Myford lathe video. So I'll have a fresh coffee, because this one, I have pretty much drunk all of it, and it's very cold. So I'll have a coffee with Mrs. Mechanic. She is up now, so we'll see she's on the radio. This is workshop to canteen. Do you copy, Mrs. Mechanic? Are you there? Is she up yet? She's watching the live stream, so she must be up. Unless she's watching it in bed. I don't know. Is she going to reply? I could order my next coffee through the radio. She's not. Well, there's CB radios for you. Obviously, you've got a bit more training to do. Actually, Mrs. Mechanic knows full well how to use CB radios. We've used them for years and years and years in the UK. Had them on all the instructor quad bikes and Jeeps and everything, even in the Unimog, so it's pretty cool. Alan Cook, hiya. Now then, Alan, I was fretting a little bit yesterday because, as you know, Alan, Tool Girl Holly is coming back to the workshop next weekend, and I've got two things. I've got that drone chassis to give her that you sent. I have to find it. I put it in the office for safekeeping so it wouldn't get damaged in the workshop, and it's in there somewhere. I don't know where. My youngest daughter came down for a weekend and totally reorganised the office and moved everything. So I've got to have a bit of a dig around next week and find that for you. Fingers crossed, I'll unearth it. I'm sure it'll still be safe. Simon, be funny if you get told to sod off, lol. I think that's probably like Mrs. Mechanic's way of saying sod off is just not to reply, actually. But anyway. I ask a lot of her, and she's been unbelievably good getting those all those kits done. I must admit, without her help, it would never have happened. I'll tell you that now. Okay, crew. Well, we're there. Oh, hang on, Jim Haynes. I guess I'm wrong, but I thought the motorcycle ride was in a group with many. So what is it that makes it special as far as a route? Well, Jim, very good question. The plan is to cross the full length of New Zealand from Cape Reinga to Bluff, using as many gravel roads as possible. Gravel and tracks, it turns out. Not even gravel, just muddy tracks. Not entirely sure on the legality of all those tracks for vehicles. We may have the odd problem. The Garmin Overland maps just show tracks. They don't seem to give any indication as to whether they're public highways or private roads. They're all the same coding, you know, on the key of the map. You can zoom in, so you can get an overhead satellite view of the terrain. and I can zoom right in and actually see the tracks. I've been trying to not to choose ones that are just really, well, ones that just don't exist, ones that are just grassy, fictitious routes across fields. No, I think that would be asking too much of the farmers, and I'd probably get into big trouble doing that. But I'm pretty confident there's going to be one or two tracks that are incorporated in the route that I've already planned, which are not going to be passable for whatever reason. So we're going to have to just try and, work our way through and find alternatives. But the challenge is it's a farm bike. That bike was designed to operate on a farm, on fields and little tracks and stuff. It was never designed for such a long distance trip. And don't forget, it's by no means a new bike. It's done a lot of work already. The engine is pretty much untouched. It's done 13,000 kilometers of work on farm. That's pretty much like 130,000 kilometers of road use. Farm work is extremely hard on these little bikes. So we'll see. It might not make it. I don't know. That's why it's called an adventure. JJ, she's bought him a kettle for Christmas. Make your own bloody coffee, Mr. Young. Yes. Banana Brooks, I thought you might have soaked those Myford parts in diesel. I haven't got any diesel, actually. It's all gone in the Nissan Patrol to keep moving it from forwards and backs from the garage. No, Mrs. Mechanic's very good at cleaning things up once I've stripped them down. Pete, have a great weekend, Andy and crew. Thank you, Pete, for joining us. Much appreciated as always. Simon, if a farmer stops you, just say you're coming to service their ROV. Excellent. That's a really good idea. I was talking to Mr. Mechanic about the bike as well, and I think if we try and because it's a farm bike, if I put a few bits and pieces on the bike, like electric fence posts, maybe a reel of wire, electric fence wire, a bale of straw is probably too much and probably will catch fire anyway, but a few farmer-orientated sort of bolt-on, add-on accessories, then from a distance, it will look like a true farm bike at work, and I might just get left alone. We'll be undercover and in disguise. So I've yet to work on that, to finalise it, but I think that's a really good plan. Okay, crew, thank you for that last comment, Simon. You reminded me to mention that. I will see you all next Sunday, 8:30 a.m, here in the workshop, hopefully with Tool Girl Holly. So get your questions ready. I'll see you then. Cheers, crew. Thank you for joining me again. Thank you. Over and out.